Tidbits from TNT, Tuesday, August 6, 2024. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Tishwash, former MP. Iraq's financial autonomy is lost because of Washington. On Monday, former member of the Finance Committee, Mohammed al-Shabki, accused Washington of dominating the oil revenues in the U.S. federal bank. Al-Shabki said in a statement to the Al-Maloma agency, "There are issues imposed on Iraq and domination of the Iraqi economy by the United States," noting that this policy that America placed on Iraq is the reason for the calamity in its economic situation. He added, Iraq does not have autonomy over its money coming from oil exports in the U.S. federal bank, calling on the government to be freed from this pressure and have a say in reformulating the relationship with the Americans. He stated that Iraq is asking the American side for a lot of money, which represents the proceeds of the amounts in the federal bank. Earlier, a member of the Al-Fatah alliance, Ali Hussein, warned in a statement to the Al-Maloma agency about the American control over the oil financial revenues in the federal bank, accusing Washington of exploiting this control to exert pressure on Iraq. Tishwash, the power of the federal forces. Iraq is moving to achieve financial autonomy. The United States of America still dominates the Iraqi economy through economic agreements concluded by Washington according to what primarily serves its interests. As the American administration seeks to block the way for those trying to rid the country of its control over Iraqi oil sales funds, the United States of America continues to impose its influence on Iraq in many vital files, including depositing the funds from the sale of Iraqi oil in the U.S. federal bank. Amid clear blackmail by passing many files, most notably the dollar bill, which puts great pressure on the government. Iraq seeks to get rid of this dominance by depositing the money in the federal bank and sending it directly to the central bank. Speaking about this file, Al-Fatah alliance member Ali Hussein calls on the government to seek to find alternatives and take the step of liberating the country from the dominance of the dollar and the continuing American sanctions, while stressing that Iraq's move towards lifting the restrictions of the U.S. federal bank is a must. Hussein said in an interview with the Maluma agency, "It will be a bold step, but it will succeed if the atmosphere is created and contracts are made with alternative international banks," noting that it is necessary to bring in companies from international countries that do not deal in the U.S. dollar. He continues, entering into the Shanghai system and other global organizations will be the first stage of liberation from the dollar, adding that the movement to end the dollar's hegemony over the world, led by major countries, has greatly succeeded. He adds, contracting from companies from Eastern countries and bringing them to work inside Iraq will avoid the economic blockade, pointing out that the government is required to seek to find alternatives and take the step of liberating the country from the dominance of the dollar and American sanctions. Harambe, Telegram. Reports of 2 American soldiers killed in the bombardment of 7 missiles by the Iranian proxy on the Ain Assad base in Iraq. Small Diamond reports of 2 American soldiers killed in the bombardment of 7 missiles by the Iranian proxy on the Ain Assad base in Iraq. Small Diamond report on American military activity at the Arar border crossing between Saudi Arabia and Iraq. Possible U.S. reinforcements on their way to Iraq. Tishwash. Iraq, EU discuss combating terrorism. Today, Monday, the head of the Counter-Terrorism Service, Karim al-Tamimi, discussed the file of combating terrorism with the European Union mission. A statement by the service received by Al-Yum al-Akhbariya stated that the head of the Iraqi Counter-Terrorism Service, Lieutenant General Karim al-Tamimi, received the head of the European Union mission and his accompanying delegation today, Monday, at the headquarters of the Counter-Terrorism Service in the capital, Baghdad. The two sides discussed, according to the statement, security cooperation in combating terrorism with regard to holding workshops and conferences and exchanging expertise and information with the European Union countries. The statement indicated that the discussion addressed the Iraqi national strategy to combat terrorism and the mechanisms of cooperation in its implementation in order to achieve the desired goal of reaching a secure and stable Iraq. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: Dinar Recaps.